fans, Joe Vitali back with another episode of the Chicago Blackhawks Hockey Central podcast. I've been away for a little bit, and I'm coming to you from away also here in Anaheim, California. Just a little vacation while I tag along. My girlfriend is doing some stuff at a conference. I was at a bachelor party before that in good old DeKalb, Illinois, but I'm back, and we're talking Blackhawks. So Bedard season, and the Hawks have done a couple more moves. That just one more move actually, and they still have one more to do, so we can solidify this roster. So as you guys know, Ryan Donato coming over from Seattle. He was a free agent, and I believe he was undrafted, signed out of college by the Boston Bruins, and tore it up over there, kind of, for an undrafted player, I should say. And so he signed 2 years, $4 million, $2 million AAV. And Philip Kurashev still needs to accept his offer because he is a restricted free agent. He was getting paid $850,000 last year. Had put up 25 points. He's a forward who can do it all, so he might command a little bit of a raise. I mean, you could probably double it, 1.5 mil. I think 25 points is worth $1.5 million. So just waiting on him to sign that. Maybe he's back home, chilling, having a good time, in Switzerland. Here, it's a really, really beautiful place over there. So Tracy Myers of NHL.com, you'll remember her from the Blackhawks beat writer. She worked for NBC Chicago, Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. And so she wrote a nice article about a projected lineup and maybe some needs. Still, Kyle Davidson came out and said, all the heavy lifting is done. Just maybe a few pieces here and there. Ryan Donato, one of those pieces. And I think we're probably going to need a bottom pair defenseman. The bottom pairing for the Blackhawks right now, Jared Tenorti, Nikita Zaitsev, it's looking a little rough. So you're going to need a guy. Zaitsev is that 7 guy, so you're going to need someone to pick up those minutes. And there are some free agents available still that will definitely fill that void. So Tracy, she's got her lines right here: Taylor Hall, Connor Bedard, Tyler Johnson, Lucas Reichel, Andreas Athanasiou, Ryan Donato, Philip Kurashev, once he signs that deal, Jason Dickinson, Taylor Radish, Nick Foligno, Cole Gutman, and Corey Perry. That fourth line, really good. Cole Gutman, I'm excited about him. I don't think he got a fair shot last year with his health. He scored all of the Blackhawks goals in the preseason, and then he hurt his shoulder, I believe, in Rockford, and wanted to tough it out, which I applaud. And hockey guys are just a different breed. So he wasn't playing up to his 100%, and he was giving us his 75%, and it was really good. So I'm excited to see him fourth line role. He's probably not going to get too much time, maybe around 12 minutes a night. But with Nick Foligno and Corey Perry, those are some good mentors to have, who will also be mentoring Connor Bedard. For the deep pairs, we got Kevin Korchinski, Seth Jones, Alex Vlasic, Connor Murphy, Jared Tenorti, and Nikita Zaitsev. And, I'm telling you, we're probably going to need a defenseman on that right side, right-handed bottom pair. So a couple of those that are available, according to Cap Friendly here, we've got Matt Dumba, Tony DeAngelo, Ethan Bear. Those are the top 3. I think Matt Dumba is probably going to make you too good. And I think Tony DeAngelo has got a lot of off-ice baggage, and I don't think he'd be good for the culture that the Blackhawks have so tirelessly worked for right now with Luke Richardson and just guys that have drive and motivation and speed. Um, I would like Ethan Bear. I think I'm going to choose Ethan Bear here for um, that free agent signing on the last D pair. He was averaging about 18 minutes a night, 18-11, I want to say. I think he cracked like, 15 points. So nothing crazy. I don't really think he's been given adequate time either. He was on Carolina and he was, lost in the with your Brett Pesci's and your Jacob Slavins and stuff. So like those guys are really, really good. And Ethan was just a little bit young and unproven. And then he went to Vancouver and he was getting some good time there because Vancouver's defense was so bad. And he was doing well, and then he got injured, unfortunately, and he'll start the season injured, which might be a little bit of a problem. But he's young, 26 years old, and so he can kind of fit in that timeline with some of the other prospects coming up and whatnot. And maybe like there's also like a Cal Foot option. Tampa Bay Lightning traded to the Nashville Predators. He was playing NHL games. Big body. He'll mix it up. Um, I think the only thing that I'm a little bit worried about with Cal Foot is he didn't really get that much time in Tampa because obviously their decor is amazing, and he got some good run in the Predators. 50 games play, I want to say. Nothing really crazy on the stat sheet. I don't even think he broke 10 points. Um, but he's not really there for that. So, maybe if you pair him with a Jared Tenorti and, you got two guys that'll mix it up and block shots and take the body, maybe that will work out. He's only 24, so he's even younger than Ethan Bear. So you might want to slide him in, um, but maybe you want to go with like a Mark Pysyk, who like he plays forward and defenseman, veteran guy, 31 years old. Um, he's but he's got good offensive abilities. I'm not going to say. I mean, he's not Cale Makar or Miro Heiskanen. He's not even like a Connor Murphy really when it comes to offense, but I think he has that offensive jam because he plays forward sometimes, and a veteran guy, leadership, all those like overarching attributes that he has, attributes he has. So maybe like that, something like that would work out. Maybe some younger guys so they fit more inside the timeline, and it's less so of a mercenary type business that you would get with like a Mark Pysyk or someone like that. Maybe like a Madison Bowie or a Jason Demers. Jason Demers got bought out by the Arizona Coyotes with Zach Cassian, so I don't think you were going to want him on the team, but because I think he's cooked, to be honest. I'm 35 years old. He played a pretty physical, hard nosed game, and there's just a lot of miles on that body, and I just don't think it would work out for the Blackhawks. Um, I think we've mentioned before that maybe a goaltender, but I really don't think that the Hawks are in the market for a goaltender because there are none available. You just saw like Thomas Greiss, he retired, and I think like JF Berube is available, a Blackhawks legend. I think he was involved in the Panarin trade, but don't quote me on that because I don't think it was. I think it was Anton Forsberg was the main piece in that Stan Bowman thought he was getting a good goalie, and he's a good goalie for the Ottawa Senators. Tore both of his ACLs or MCLs in his knees. Gruesome injury to have. Terrible for him, but he should be coming back. and he'll be backing up Jonas Korpisalo, and that'll be kind of cool. Uh, Alex DeBrincat got traded for another ex-Blackhawk, so he goes to Detroit. Boo, Detroit sucks. Um, and Kubalik was in that deal, so he goes to Ottawa. Alex DeBrincat from Ottawa to the beloved Detroit Red Wings. Um, so yeah, that the GM Pierre Dorian for the Ottawa Senators got really in between a rock and a hard place with that deal that got us Kevin Korchinski. So we're going to be reaping those rewards. Pierre Dorian, not so much, and that's okay. Go Hawks. So then we're going to move on here, and some other news in the Blackhawks realm. So it appears that Pat Brisson, the agent for Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews, their company has left Jonathan Toews off as a free agent. So this is leading to a lot of people speculating that Jonathan Toews is going to retire. And if this is the end, I just want to thank Jonathan Toews for all the memories that he's given me and all of us here as Blackhawks fans. 3 cups, our captain, the youngest captain, some great highlights. You know, that dude on a breakaway was unconscious. He was the best. He was so good, and he was, face-off guy, leadership on the ice. Had to get calmed down against the Detroit Red Wings by Brent Seabrook. All good, worked out, and it's just he's the captain, and it was great watching him play games. And if this is the end, I hope he enjoys retirement because he gave us a lot to enjoy. And then Patrick Kane, off-season hip surgery. Pat Brisson would not give any info at all, and so he's going to sign a contract in season because 6 to 8 month recovery time gets him about, I think best case scenario gets him in December. So he's probably going to sign a contract mid-season, which is very interesting. You don't really see that a lot. And as where he's going, not really sure. He went to New York Rangers. I don't think their cap situation is good enough to bring him back. Maybe he stays in New York and maybe goes to the Islanders. He loves Matt Barzal, and I think he would do a lot of things to be able to play with him. I think that it's like that's his perfect center to play with in his mind. So I think that'd be really fun and it'd be really cool. Maybe he goes home to Buffalo and gives the Buffalo that veteran sort of skill that they could use. And nothing wrong with Patrick Kane dishing it to Tage Thompson or Alex Tuck or Dylan Cousins. All those are incredible players, and they need a winger because they're going to be getting rid of Victor Olofsson, kind of a one-dimensional player on the power play. Really, really great shot, really good at one-timers, but just like defensive liability, which is kind of Patrick Kane, unfortunately. But I would say Patrick Kane's a lot more skilled. So, maybe he'll go home, and that would be really fun to watch. I think Buffalo would benefit from that. I'm really high on Buffalo. They've got a lot of USA Hockey guys over there, and I'm a big fan of USA Hockey. And then, so we've covered what the lines might be, probably will be. Korchinski is going to be. I've said it. I beat this drum a lot. I said the Hawks are going to give him 9 games, not let his contract slide, get him back to the Western Hockey League. But that Western Hockey League or the Canadian Hockey League and the NHL player agreement You've heard me rag on it. You're going to hear me rag on it some more. Not a fan of it. The NHL is not a developmental league, and then junior is just a little too far down the ladder. I would like to get those Canadian Hockey League players in the AHL getting reps, playing pro games, seeing what, pro hockey is like. I think the AHL is one of the more competitive leagues. It might even be the second best hockey league in the world besides the NHL. The KHL will give it a run for its money, but the KHL is also on international ice and such. So a lot more emphasis on skill over there. AHL, I mean, guys are chucking them left, right, center. You have to keep your head up, and you have to want it to be in the AHL. Really grind them out type league. I've been seeing a lot of people saying that Korchinski's going to get 20 to 25 games, and then he's going to go back to Seattle Thunderbirds of the Western Hockey League. I don't mind it. There's only 2 players signed beyond the 24-25 season, and that's Connor Murphy and Seth Jones. So burning that contract, it's not going to really matter because the Hawks are going to have the contract space. Teams can only have a maximum of 50, and so they're going to have that contract space, and they're going to have that cap space, and you're going to really see this new age Blackhawks core. You're going to see Bedard, Reichel, Korchinski, and Nolan Allen, Ethan Del Mastro. These are going to be like your Keith and Seabrooks and your Sharps and your Sods and your Canes with Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard's obviously a centerman, and he's going to be a lot more influential on the game than a winger. But of Patrick Kane's caliber, when you get up there, they're impacting the game a lot too. And then we got Drew Comesso as playing Corey Crawford, and it's going to be really, really nice. And so just wrapping up the Blackhawks news, Kurashev still needs to sign that deal. He had 25 points last season. I'm not really seeing much. Maybe you want to get him on like a 3-year 1.5, 4-year 1.5. I don't really know if the Hawks want to, like hamstring themselves with term contracts because Max Domi he wanted a 5x5, and the Hawks were not about that. They don't want term. So and then you're probably going to see your Ryan Greens, your Paul Ludwinskis, Savoie, and there's Gavin Hayes. He's on the Flint Firebirds, I want to say. You're going to see these guys making their Jalen Lupin, formerly of the Edmonton Oil Kings. I'm not entirely sure where he is right now, but he signed with the Blackhawks. So he's going to be in Rockford playing pro games, which is really, really good. And this is the new era, new age Blackhawks, man. It's awesome, and it's exciting, and I'm excited to see how they perform on the ice. They probably would prefer that they're still bottom 5 in the league, and that they can get some more high-end talent in this next draft with Macklin Celebrini going to go number 1 overall. That kid is, if you want to see some cool highlights, some skill, look up that guy. He's at the Chicago Steel, United States Hockey League. And so I'm going to wrap it up here with some news that's a little less chill, unfortunately. Hockey Canada had an incident in 2018, and they've been investigating, and they've found that they could probably charge 5 of those players on that Hockey Canada team. And this relates to the Blackhawks because 2 of the current Blackhawks are were on that team in Boris Kachu and Taylor Radish. Now, nothing has been official yet. No one has been charged, but I think they're gearing up to do that, and there might be some bad news coming here for Blackhawks fans. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything. They both came out with statements uh, denying their involvement in the incident, and so I just I just we might have to prepare for some bad news, unfortunately, and if that's the case, some roster spots will open, and then your Mackenzie Entwistles, Reese Johnsons, Colin Blackwells, they can slide in. So good news, bad news, because it's getting really crowded in that forward group. So have to be on the lookout for that. The NHL is taking as much care as they can with this, and I think there's going to be a decision in August, I want to say. So if that's if that is the case, really really unfortunate, especially with the dark spot that is the Kyle Beach situation on the Chicago Blackhawks. Luckily, the Chicago Blackhawks have rid their organization of a lot of those pieces that were involved, and a lot of those players are retired or out of the league, and they built back, and uh, this is the new era of Blackhawks, where things uh, like crimes uh, will be taken seriously, and we're move on and build up this roster for this new era of Chicago Blackhawks hockey. That's going to be really really cool. Um, and I'm really really looking forward to it. I'm really excited with all these prospects, and with Connor Bedard leading the charge uh, with these Chicago Blackhawks. That's hopefully going to bring a new dynasty. And this has been the Chicago Blackhawks Hockey Central podcast. I'm Joe Vitali, coming to you from sunny Anaheim, California. And look out for some more content coming your way. And I hope you guys have a great day. And peace out.